All right, guys, we got Chelen here. We're opening up for questions.
Chelen, did you actually think that touchdown was going to stand early in the second half?
Not a shot. I try to play it off though, but I was talking to myself. I was like, man, it ain't gonna count. Oh no, it's a good habit though to have. Practice it all the time, scooping the ball. So
you got to sell it, right?
Yeah,
you couldn't even sell that one.
Yeah, you got to. Shoot, might have got away with it more if I would have sold it more. I don't know.
Moving into actual serious stuff, what do you see from Malik that makes it so difficult to defend a dual threat quarterback like him?
I mean, it's a challenge. I would say, especially with our defense. Just always having eyes on him, and being good tacklers as well. We're going over reiterating that all week, like being great tacklers because he can make you miss open space. Also, he can run past you. So just not like being able to stop him, but like once you get there, like be able to make the play as well.
Chelen, has there been, I guess, a bit of rewiring in you guys' brains? You guys had about 3-4 mobile quarterbacks in a row. Then you guys get Phil last week, who isn't necessarily the most mobile. And now you have arguably the most mobile guy in the entire ACC. Has there been a bit of like rewiring for you guys to get back in that mindset? What's going on there?
Yeah, a little bit. Different things scheme wise. I mean, we weren't expecting him because he ran Phil. He ran like quarterback run probably like 2 or 3 times, like coming out in the first half, and we was like, okay, like we wasn't expecting that. That's a little different, but just getting back to what we've been doing early in the year, defending and running quarterbacks. So it'll be fun.
And I guess, on that drive that got extended 2-3 times from a fake punt and then a wacky fumble, was there, for the most part, were you guys just kind of just like mentally spent? What really went on with that 5-minute sequence there?
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to tell the defense, I was just like, let's keep going. Like, it's just more football. Like, what's there more to ask for? Like, we just keep playing. Fortunately, we love the big play, but we do team fast all the time here in practice. So I think our conditioning was up there for the most part, up to par. So just try to tell them, keep going, push through.
Chelen, what do you think is different about Wake Forest football defense this season than last?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would have to say our mindset and our effort is different. I feel like we have more buy-in from everybody, which is making us, run to the ball more, and also fine-tune the details, the little small thing, like the fundamentals, like tackling, stepping on toes, as Coach Adams would say, playing the ball in the air, the deep ball, like doing those things over and over again practice. I would have to say now our mindset is just like black hats, that's our like thing. Like we always flying to the ball, effort all the time, fanatical effort. No matter where you are, if you're getting blocked, like if you being blocked, like you're wrong. Like you should always be running to the ball, no matter where the ball is at. But yeah, I would say that's a good question.
Do you feel like there are strides being made? I mean, if you look at the Wake Forest defense last season, it definitely was kind of pilloried in the media, nationally, especially when you look at, especially after the Army game, for instance. Do you feel like there are definite strides? Can you see signs of progress being made? Definitely.
I feel like we're going in the right direction. I don't know how many turnovers and things like that we have, so to say. I don't keep up on all that stuff, but I just feel it, like we all feel it, like, we're playing better, trying not to give us as many points, but it's always about us. So, just collectively, like during the week, we're locked in to the game plan, and make sure we're always around the ball and wrapping up, not missing tackles. and no MAs, missed assignments. So we're trying to limit.
Chelen, it wasn't long ago that the defensive backfield was maligned, sometimes rightfully so. Other than Isaiah, you guys are all freshmen through junior, right? You're kind of the other old head as a junior.
Yeah.
How exciting is it to know that you guys are young and in all likelihood it's nothing but improvement from here on?
It's great. It just gives us like a point where, once the end of the season comes, it's like, okay, we did this, so now we elevate. We do with the same people, so be able to elevate each other through workouts, springs, stuff like that. But right now we all just focus on ball and like we're trying to do the best we can right now. Because even though we are young, like injuries happen, stuff like that happen all the time. So like we just try and play every play.
Chelen, you guys have a top 10 ranking in the top 25. You always talk about going 1-0 and trying to keep all the outside noise out. How important is it now for you guys to really focus on that with the national recognition, you guys being ranked in the top 10?
Very, very important. We just had to talk about that before we broke from practice just like 5 minutes ago. Ignore all the noise and stuff because beginning of the season, obviously, like we was all like ranked down and all that, but we always find our way to climb up to the top. So like when they love us now, it's just like we don't want to hear that either. Like when y'all love us and y'all hate us, we don't want to hear it. Just stick to what we do, going 1-0, have a great mindset every day.
Is it nice to kind of prove those haters wrong that you guys have shown what you've shown so far?
I mean, yeah, it is nice, but like we won't get too far into that because we know, like, especially this upcoming stretch of our season, like we playing good teams. Everybody we play from now on has a winning record, so we know it's going to be a challenge. So we just not just focus on the 1 week.
Chalen, it's been kind of always weird when you guys play Louisville the last couple of years. Is there anything you guys took away from last year's game, which was kind of all over the place, to really apply it this year?
Yes. Missed tackles, missed assignments. Those are the two most defense-wise that we're reaping on. Because those were what we gave up last year. We gave up big plays. That's our most explosive plays happen. So, just making sure everybody we're 100% on our checks, every check we make, and making sure, we tackling well, just have to tackle well in open space.
Chelen, now that you guys are being recognized for your improvement overall defensively, how does that motivate you to take the next step compared to the way that it used to be? And how do you, as one of the older guys, remind the younger guys, hey, we haven't done anything yet? How do you go about kicking guys in the tail?
We just, I would say, and then secondary wise, just realizing, like where we were before, like always just reaping on like before, like not before, but like the beginning of the season, like we weren't talked about at all. Like it's all like, so it's like we shouldn't treat our daily process any different because now we're getting some recognition. Like do what we've been doing to get us to this point, even a little bit more. We're trying to reap on like we're doing good right now, but we need to do better. Like we got to kick it up just a little bit more because good ain't good enough. So we just got to keep going. I told our safeties in the meeting just now that we got to turn up a notch. Good ain't good enough.
Chelen, how rewarding is it to see Evan get back out there and get some snaps and make a difference?
My God, it's great. It's great. Coming off an ankle injury. I had an ankle injury, so I know how hard it was. So to see him back out there, man, it's a blessing. It really is a blessing, and he's balling too. So I'm happy for Ev. Can't wait for the rest of the season. See what he do.
Was he in the nickel a couple times? Did I see?
Yeah. Nice. He nice.
See, would you give him the title of best cover guy among the safeties if he's rolling into the nickel?
Yeah, obviously I would say myself, but if I'm getting out of myself, yes, most definitely, for sure.
Anything
Appreciate the
else?
honesty.
All right, thanks, Chelen. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Dion Bergan's gonna be up here in about 10, 15 minutes. He's showering and heading up. So we'll just keep this Zoom open. All right, appreciate you.
Dion, I guess just start us off. How do you think this Wake Forest defense has improved this season? What's different about what you guys are doing, especially up front?
Just the whole just morale of just trying to focus on the day-to-day. I think it's just a lot more intense than what we had last year. I think last year we kind of had the same mindset of taking it day-to-day, but I don't think we dealt with that process like as intently as what we're doing now. And I don't think the leadership was as there as it was this year. Not to say that last year we didn't have great leadership with our 5th and 6th year guys, but just this year it just comes from our 3rd, our 4th, our 5th, and our 6th year guys just all buying in.
How good is it to have a group of 9 guys on that defensive line that can rotate in and out frequently through the game to keep everybody fresh?
That's the best thing about it is getting everybody a chance to play at a high level and like getting our starters to be able to, get a blow, get a breather in after about 8 plays or so, and then come back in with another set of 4 guys and just still play at that high level. It's great. It's been a great thing to see this season.
Dion, last week you guys you still had just the 2 sacks, which is about what you're averaging on the season. But you got into the backfield a lot more. You had about 9 tackles for loss in the backfield. How important is it to kind of ante up that pressure from the defensive line onto the quarterbacks and the running backs?
Do you mean for like this game specifically or just like the rest of the season?
And just in general, how important is it for you guys to continue to increase that pressure into the backfield?
Yeah, that's a huge emphasis that we take when we come in Tuesday mornings for our D-line room and our D-line meetings. Is just to continue to, try to live in the backfield as much as we can with all the talent and experience that we have. It's just something that's kind of expected of us and that we try to demand out of each other. It starts with us up front. That's what we talk about every week. Just trying to control the line of scrimmage and cause issues for offenses.
Now, then that being the case, you also have to work on containment this week because you have a mobile quarterback again, which you haven't had to worry about as much the past couple of weeks. So what's the change in mindset then in taking on a more mobile quarterback like Cunningham?
Yeah, there's always a big emphasis on rush lanes, even when we're not playing a mobile quarterback. And now this week, the biggest emphasis is, having rush lane integrity is a huge thing that we're talking about. Like our inside guys, we can't get too caught up in trying to, work moves in and out. We just gotta keep our rush lane integrity, like stay on the right side of the hip, just be more detailed with where we put our eyes, depending on where the quarterback is, so we don't let them out.
Dion, you mentioned buy-in a little bit earlier. That's something people have brought up today in the past few weeks. Was that really just was there a push in the offseason to, I guess, have more buy-in with the coaching staff? Where did that sort of originate from?
Yeah, I think I credit it honestly a lot with Ryan and Rondell. Ever since really like January, February, we came back, everything has been like player led. Like from the jump, getting extra filming together when there's no coaches here, getting extra practices, or not practices, but getting extra workouts after our workouts, and then after our our little walkthrough practices. Everything's just been very player led, and I feel like that's where the buy-in is really coming from.
Did you think Jasheem was going to score when he picked up the football?
I was hoping he was going to score, and then I just see a big lineman come come and get his shoulder pads under Joshine. But so we made a big deal about shinning the football, and yeah.
But taking it back to, I guess, Louisville, last year, really every year since you've been here, Louisville's been a wacky game, whether it was the 2019 game, 2020 with COVID, last year's sort of up and down. What have you been able to learn from playing Louisville the last few years, and how are you kind of using that to prep for this year, as well as also get some guys ready who haven't necessarily been in that position yet?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is really just you can't sleep on that offensive line. They're not like the biggest group of guys, but they kind of, what am I trying to say? They kind of make that up with their athleticism and just their experience, because they've been there for a while, that whole line. We feel like we can play really physical with them, but we just got to be detailed and stand in our gaps when they do hit us with that stretch, because we know it's going to come. They're really good at it. So we just got to be detailed in our steps and with our hands, and just playing as athletic as they are with that stretch.
Anything else for Dion? All right, thanks, Dion.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Dion.
Thank you.